Hey there folks, welcome to Grim Dawn. So, we've got our character, her name is Liz Play, isn't that clever? We're going to be playing on a veteran difficulty, and let's hop into the introductory cutscene, and we'll talk about the game after that.
We paid a heavy price, but the trap worked.
You seem surprised.
It's been a while since we've had a win. How long will it hold?
I've never entrapped a being like this. But the bonds hold, for now.
How do we dispose of it?
I'm just a witch. You're the soldier.
If it bleeds, I can kill it.
How do you kill a spirit, though?
If you kill the mortal vessel while it's bound, the spirit may perish within. If it escapes...
It's listening to us.
What are you?
Others of your kind name us ethereal.
Why have you invaded our world?
Your world. We existed first, but were managed by your corrupt gods. Your kind opened the way, and now we return to claim what by right should be ours.
I've heard enough of this rubbish. Let's hang it.
Seems like you can do something a little bit more correct.
Destroy this vessel, and I will find another. I have tasted its desires and emotions. Your kind is weak. You have already lost this war.
Do it.
Captain!
Cut him down!
What? Are you mad? Better safe than sorry.
The spirit has fled!
This is a human now!
You're like 5 feet away. You don't have to shoot from there.
The captain is correct. When they awaken, they won't remember a thing.
The ethereal was right. The war is lost. We're a resistance now, and we need every human survivor we can call to our cause. Maybe this one here can still die with some honor. If they ever wake up, send them to me. If they don't, bury him deep with the others.
Kind of who we're gonna be playing. Do we wake up? Do we wake up in a burial mound? What's going on? So yeah, this is Grim Dawn. This is an action RPG, sort of in the vein of like, I believe this is, they're thinking of this as a spiritual successor to Titan Quest, which a good portion of the team worked on. But, I mean, the action RPG line was most popularized by the Diablo series. So that may be also where you're going with that. And just like most of the other games in this genre, it takes place in a world that has gone to hell. And in this case, it seems that maybe the people got a little bit further along technologically than in some of those other games, but still in general, you know, it's just, there's been a cataclysm and we have to deal with the aftermath. So, let's talk to this nice guy who wanted to kill us.
Still drawing breath, I see. You're one lucky bastard, I'll give you that. Best go speak to Captain Bourbon right away. He seems to have a plan for you now that we've spared your life.
Oh, hooray. Well, how did I get here?
You were possessed, so we strung you up.
Seems reasonable.
Seems the spirit fled your body before your life ran out. I'd have left you to hang, but the captain had other plans.
Well,
He sees
thanks.
some purpose in you, and I'm not going to argue.
Oh, wise subordinate. Where can I find this there, Captain?
Up the road, in the courtyard. Don't make me regret cutting you down.
Well, I'll be on my way then, Hangman Jarvis. So, we're playing on a veteran difficulty here. So what veteran difficulty means basically is just, you know, the step up from normal. This is, you get increased monster health and damage, as well as higher monster density and therefore more drops, and an increased rate at the spawns for, well, their equivalent of what in Diablo 2 would be champion and uniques. Here they're called champion and heroes. So, again, mo better loot. Unlocked a rift gate. So rift gates in this game are basically a system of fast travel. They also work as town portals. So pretty much very helpful overall. Ooh, we've got a green arrow over this person, Harmon. Oh look, it's the possessed one. Tell you what, I've got something that needs doing, and I'll pay good to see it done. Not quite sure you've got what it takes, but come back with some blood on your boots and maybe I'll reconsider. Just try to make sure it's not your own blood. Alright then. This strapping young fellow with the question mark over his head, he seems like he's probably in charge around here. Let's talk to Captain John Bourbon.
Too bad for someone just come back from the brink of death. You were taken, possessed by the same creatures that have been reanimating these zombies here. Normally I'd have burned you with the rest to be safe, but we've lost too many people to the dead. I need someone expendable. Someone with nothing to lose but a lot to gain. Right now, you're that person. Prove your worth to me, and the survivors of Devil's Crossing may just welcome you.
You can call me expendable, Captain. What is it you want me to do?
The bodies of the dead are rising again in some horrible unlife. Corpses don't just get up and move around on their own. Something is reanimating our deceased with ethereal energy. We have observed the dead for some time, and they appear to be flooding Lower Crossing from the Burial Hill, just beyond town. I want you to go to the Burial Hill, find whatever is controlling these abominations, and destroy it.
Maybe if y'all hadn't called it Burial Hill, maybe if you had said happy time rest home, maybe this wouldn't be happening. Come on, man, you gotta think about your words. Yeah, where can I find this horribly named location?
You'll need to fight your way through Lower Crossing.
Oh, good.
Once you've crossed the stream on the far side of town, there will be a beaten path leading up to Burial Hill. I know I'm asking a lot of you, but I'd be asking a lot of my people to welcome you with open arms, too. Help us in our hour of need, and I will open Devil's Crossing to you.
Go out there and get yourself killed, and then when you come back, we'll be happy to, you know, remove whatever this undeath stuff is from you. It's fine. It'll be great. It'll be a fun time for everyone. I'll find what's reanimating those corpses, and you know what? If it makes me a better offer, I'll side with it. I'm really rooting for you, Captain, but, you know, this is a tough economy. We got a green arrow over this dude. Aww, we gotta be cleared by the captain before we can be let through. God, it's just like that time at the hospital. Alright, so, yeah, so we're just gonna head out here and see what we can find. So, in this game, you don't start off as a class, alright? We didn't pick a class. It's not something we're gonna worry about just quite yet. It's a little bit different from most of the other games in this genre. Ooh. So, looks like we've got a decent amount of just corpser dudes. Yeah. Let's see if we can get out a fight in here, and see, this is showing fast regen, which is a pretty cool thing that this game has. So if you're out of combat, meaning you don't take or deal damage for 2.5 seconds, I believe it is. Let's move out of that. You will, there's this, you see this sort of transparent part here over the red bar? This is your constitution. And from the pool of constitution, you will regain life when you've been out of combat for 2.5 seconds. This constitution bar naturally, natively, can refill your health 3 full times without needing to be recharged. So you'll see, we walked over the food ration and it recharged. Food rations and untouched meals completely refill it, as does leveling up. and I believe there are a couple other things. So we just picked up a tonic of mending. You see this is on the hot bar. You can also assign it to one of your buttons here. So as it says, you have to right click on the button and it will bring up a list of things you can assign to it. For now we're going to do the tonic of mending, which is a healing potion. Likewise the tonic, or the elixir of spirit, is in this game a mana potion. So yeah, we're running around. Ah yes, and that's another thing. In this game, a lot of other games will use something like gold as the currency. In this game, it's iron. Just to sort of show that iron is a little bit more effective in terms of an apocalyptic scenario, I suppose. It's not quite as malleable as good old gold. Alright, so we've got our experience bar down here. We're a decent ways on to level 2, where we'll have some more things to talk about. So let's kill a few more zombies here. Let's not get completely surrounded, shall we? I figure that's a good idea. Alright. Come on, come on. Getting close. Ooh, we've got some items. Got some items dropping. That's kind of nice. So, like with a lot of these games, you start with some items, and for the most part, what you pick up, if you don't have anything, it just gets equipped. But if you do have something equipped, there's a handy comparison here. So I can right-click to equip what we see, and there's a handy breakdown of the damage type that's done, any special effects. In this case we have armor piercing, the speed of the weapon, the requirements for the weapon, the in this case physique for our greatsword, or cunning for our shiv, which physique is basically strength, cunning is basically dexterity, spirit is basically energy in terms of, you know, some of those Diablo archetypes. And yeah, the scrap metal greatsword, it's a big DPS bonus. We lose out on some defense from the plank shield, but I mean, we're still early in the game. We're probably better off just damaging all the things as hard and as fast as possible. There we go. We'll kill these nice fellows. I'm sure they used to be nice fellows. So, leveling. Well, let's pop this rotten corpse. Ooh. Okay. Francis' note, Francis' gun. Alright, so when you level up, just like in a lot of other games, you can put points, an amount of points. In this case, in this game, 1 point into your stats. But in this case, what a 1 point buys you is actually 8 points to whichever one you choose here. So we're at 50 on each of them. So let's say we put a point in spirit. Alright, we click here, we get 8 spirit. That's consistent between all the levels, all the points. You get 8 per point, and what you gain, alright, for physique, you get health, bonus health, regen, and defensive ability. Defensive ability factors into your chance to hit calculations. So physique is good for not being hit and for surviving longer. It's also, again, you've got requirements on your items. So for heavier, heavy armor, larger two-handed weapons, you'll need more physique. Cunning, again, it's your dexterity, so this will boost your physical damage, your bonus pierce damage, bonus damage duration, and offensive ability. Offensive ability factors into your chance to hit. It is your, it affects how likely you are to actually hit. Offensive is just the chance to hit. Defensive is the chance to not be hit, and it's calculated on every monster and on you as well. Spirit, you get bonus magical damage, bonus damage duration, bonus energy, which is your mana, and 0.08 bonus energy regen per level. You'll see in this case these numbers are broken down here. Yes. Not there. So for each it would be, for each level, assuming the wiki I read is still correct, you'd get 24 bonus health, plus 0.32 bonus health regen, and 4 defensive ability for each point in Physique. You would get 2.67% bonus physical damage, 2.28 bonus pierce damage, 2.67 bonus duration damage, and 4 offensive ability for each point in Cunning. And for your Spirit, 2.67% bonus magical damage, 2.67% bonus duration damage, 16 bonus energy, and the 0.08 bonus energy regen. So your health, that's your life pool. Again, that's boosted by your Physique. Your energy is boosted by your Spirit, and that is your mana pool. You can see here, pretty handy, UI thing here. Your offensive ability and your defensive ability give you the stats, chance to hit, and the chance to crit for your offensive ability. And I believe also for the defensive ability as well, for the monsters you have been fighting recently. So, chance to crit, the further above, anything above 90% chance to hit increases your chance to crit. However, in this game, critical hit damage is a very low multiplier. So, you may not be too enamored with going over 100% chance to hit unless you get some additional bonuses on critical hits, because it's like at 90% you get 1.1% damage, at like 115% you get like 1.2%. That's 1.1 times and 1.2 times damage, so it's very, very minor, the boost you get. So you may not want to go too crazy. It even gives you a nice DPS breakdown and your armor rating. Armor is a little different in this game. When you get hit, there is what they call a random chance. It's not random, it's weighted, and it's actually listed here. The chance to hit area, when you get hit, it's 15% chance to hit your head, 15% chance to hit your shoulders, 26% chance to hit your chest, 12% chance to hit your arms, 20% chance to hit your legs, or 12% chance to hit your feet. Wherever it hits, it checks against your armor to see how whether it hits, it checks against your armor to see how much damage your armor will reduce. Natively, it reduces 70% of that amount. And anything that's dealt to you in that area above that amount is unmodified. So if you had like a shirt here that stopped 50 damage, and you got hit for 80 damage, well, you would reduce 70% of 50 damage, and then take 30 unmodified damage on top of that. So, that's a mouthful, I know, but we'll go over that more as it becomes more readily important. So another thing now is we select our class because we have leveled up for the first time. All right. How we determine our class in this game is by choosing our mastery. We choose our class to train in. So there's a soldier, pretty much what you expect it to be. A demolitionist, which is guns, fire, traps, all that kind of stuff. Pyros, basically. An occultist, he's different. Johnny's different. He likes to go out in the woods at night and draw pentagrams on the ground. He's special. He's fine. He's nice when you get to know him. These are more magical, but they're sort of closely attuned to their dark gods. Nightblade, an assassin, basically. I mean, it plays differently than, say, a Diablo 2 assassin, but it's that archetype. An Arcanist is a pretty straightforward glass cannon wizard, which is where I like to be in a role-playing game. And a shaman, which is similar to a druid archetype. They can control animals. They have, they use, big brutal weapons, but they also have sort of buffs and, call on the power of nature. So yeah, like I say, I'm going to be going Arcanist. And then once you get into this, into the skill tree here, alright, you level up also in your mastery here. You level up as an Arcanist, and leveling up as an Arcanist lets you take stronger and stronger skills. So you also get buffs for leveling up. So we'll take the first level. We'll gain some physique, some cunning, some spirit, some health, and some energy. All very welcome to us. So the square bracketed skills are active skills. The circular well, not bracketed, but the skills shown in circles are passive skills. So some of the passive skills are one-shot deals, and some of them can be leveled up. You see, this one particularly, we can keep it leveling up to, well, I don't actually know what the max level of that skill is, but I can tell you that, for instance, this skill is a passive attached to this skill. That's why you have the branch here. And this is a single shot passive. You get one level, but it massively boosts this skill. So, whereas something like this, the inner focus passive, affects all of your skills. So, to kick us off, I'll take the inner focus, just because it gives us some immediate ability, some more energy from the plus spirit, and a little bit more offensive ability is always nice. And I'll take the replicating missile, which is pretty much a magic missile that fragments when it hits, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. Not gonna lie, I'm a fan of it. You see this devotion tab up here? We'll worry about that in the future. Alright, so now we've picked up an active skill. We have a large bar of skills, right? And you can set any of your skills to any button. I'm going to put Panetti's replicating missile on my right mouse button. And we've got a skill to go. Now, we also picked up a weapon. You'll notice this weapon is green that came out of that corpse. It is Francis's gun. There are guns in this game. That's why I said it seems that they got a little bit more technologically advanced than, say, a Diablo. And guns can be one- or two-handed weapons, but the really important thing here is this is a rare item. Rare items normally don't start dropping until about level 8, and rare items can be quite powerful because they can have auto-cast skills on them, such as this one. You see it has a fireball. It's an auto-attack skill, or an auto-cast skill rather, because 8% of the time when you launch an attack, the gun will just shoot a fireball for, there's a 1.5 second recharge once it does that, but you get 20 to 35 fire damage and 50% chance to stun the target for 1 second. That's pretty awesome. The gun also deals 2 to 3 fire damage on top of its physical damage, plus 9% fire damage. That's not too big of a deal at this point, but if you had more modifiers or more things that added a fire damage to the weapon, you'd get even more out of it. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and equip the gun. Inventory management is an actual thing in this game, which is kind of cool. May go a little anal with that, but just because I don't think there's any need in getting any closer to the enemies than we have to. And note, to the best of my knowledge, there is not ammo concerns about your weapon. Note also that your energy seems to replenish quite quickly, which is very nice. Especially compared to, say, trying to start off in Diablo 2 with an unrushed or untwinked character that just, man, cast like a spell and then you were done for forever. So Journeyman's Pack will normally have a food ration, which again refills your constitution. See that popped back up to full. Okay, so these are these kind of things are little quests and log items. They're lore, basically. You can gain some experience for reading them. Sometimes they have information regarding quests, so it's normally a good idea to hop in on reading some of those things. Note also that that round shield, we had nothing to do with that. The enemies, some of the enemies are in like different factions, and they'll fight and kill each other. So you know, sometimes just hang back and you'll get free loot. So we saw in the upper left there something about components. This game has a crafting element, and so there are both normal and rare components that can drop. The battered shell is a normal component, and there are many different types of components, and they can go into different things. The battered shell in this case only goes into shields, but there are some that go into everything that you can craft. Alright, we've picked up a little bit more in the way of loot. Yeah, we see here this is a heavy armor hat we have here that we cannot equip because our physique is too low. Have a scrap metal saw blade. Sounds pretty cool, but again, out of our range. Well, not really out of our range, but not really what we want to use. Because I want to attack from range. There we go. I adequately described that idea, I would say. Get dead, sir. And I don't know if you've noticed there, it does very handily when you mouse over an enemy. It tells you what level that enemy is, so you can have a bit of an idea in terms of their chance to hit you. You know, it doesn't give you an automatic breakdown, although if you mouse over it, you should be able to check in your character screen here, again with the defensive and offensive abilities. But more to the point, if something is significantly higher level than you, that does factor into all of the damage and chance to hit multipliers, and maybe you're in over your head. Just something to keep in mind. Also note, we'll pull up the menu here. These untouched meals, which again refill your constitution, will show up on your map, generally speaking. So keep an eye out for them. So yeah, these Scourge are okay with each other, but they got together and killed this zombie dude. It was terrible. I feel bad for his family. Hello, dude. I don't recognize you. Baldus, what's up? We're all gonna die out here. Well, some of us are gonna die out here, I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah, come down. Where are you from? I was staying with a group of survivors down in Devil's Crossing. You know, the old prison, but supplies started running low. Come on. There we go. And we've leveled up again. Supplies started running low. I volunteered to go scavenging around Lower Crossing, figured it was safe enough, but I was wrong. I got chased in here by a pack of ravenous rift scourges, although I can't hear their maddening skittering anymore. That's because I killed them in front of you. I suppose I have you to thank for that? It doesn't matter, though. Here is overrun with the dead. We won't make it 5 feet without getting surrounded. I suppose I could open a rift gate. Okay, so rift gates, we got the pop-up around about the one in town, and I don't think I really properly showed it off. But rift gates are what the enemy use to like move around and attack and stuff. And because we had one of these ethereal monsters in us, we can kind of control a rift gate. So he's probably not going to be too thrilled if we tell him we can open a rift gate. Let's tell him we can open a rift gate. What? Isn't that what those things are pouring out of? Well, sort of, but Mine is fine. Look, just because I walk like an enemy, I quack like an enemy, and I open a portal to hell like an enemy, doesn't mean I'm an enemy. What kind of paranoid delusionist are you, man? I'm having a hard time believing that. That's because you have a brain, sir. But you don't seem to have the look of a taken about you. Well, if you'd have seen me like 10 minutes ago, I suppose this is my only option. See you back at Devil's Crossing. We'll open a rift gate, and we'll probably never see that guy again. He's probably dead now. I hope you didn't get too attached to Baldus. But yeah, so that was kind of cool. So let's go ahead and level up again, right? So the one thing to keep in mind, right? I mentioned the thing about offensive and defensive ability. Generally speaking, you should be absolutely fine, except in the cases I was talking about earlier, where you're facing things that are significantly above your current level. But if your offensive ability happens to lag behind, and it gets below 75% chance to hit, you will do reduced damage. And if I remember correctly, it is reduced by whatever amount you are below 75%. So if you were at 73.7, you would have 1.3% reduced damage. So you do want to kind of keep an eye on that. But again, you don't have to go putting points in cunning at every turn, but it is something to be mindful of. We're still just going to put points in spirit here. It's more damage, more energy. Just generally very, very nice. We could have put the points into physique to be able to wear our gloves here, but I'd rather have more damage. We're not too concerned about our enemies at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and level up Arcanist, because again, as we get this further on, when we get to these levels, we can unlock these skills. We could unlock this one. I'm not a big fan. This is sort of a mana leech ability, and I'm not too enamored with it, but you could certainly try it out if you were so inclined. I'm just going to, in this case, pump our magic missile a little more. Does kind of over time increase the energy cost, but the damage goes up significantly as well. And with that, folks, I think we're going to call this a first episode. Thank you for watching this video, and hopefully you're excited about Grim Dawn and ready to come back next time. See you then.